Priya was a professional dancer, and dancing wasn't just her career, it was her identity, her purpose, her entire world. From the age of 5, she had spent every single day in the dance studio, perfecting every move, winning every competition, and building a reputation as one of the most promising dancers in the country. At 28, she was at the peak of her career, preparing for the biggest performance of her life at an international competition that could change everything. But one rainy evening, while rushing to rehearsal, her car was hit by a truck. She woke up 3 weeks later in a hospital bed, and the doctor's words shattered her world. "I'm sorry, but the damage to your spine is severe. You'll be able to walk again with extensive therapy, but dancing the way you used to, is no longer possible." In that moment, Priya felt like she had died, even though her body was still breathing. If she couldn't dance, who was she? What was her purpose? Her entire identity had been tied to something she could no longer do. For months, she refused to leave her apartment, refused therapy, refused to see friends or family. She just sat by the window, watching the world move on without her, feeling like a broken piece that could never be fixed. Her room was filled with trophies and photos of her dancing. Each one now felt like a cruel reminder of everything she had lost. One morning, her younger sister brought her 10-year-old niece, Arya, to visit. Arya had always idolized Priya and wanted to become a dancer just like her aunt. But when she saw Priya's condition, the little girl's eyes filled with tears. "Auntie, will you never dance again?" she asked innocently. Priya's voice was hollow as she replied, "Never. I'm broken, Arya. Broken things can't be beautiful anymore." Arya thought for a moment, then ran to the kitchen and came back with a broken teacup that had been glued back together with golden glue, a Japanese art called kintsugi. "Muma broke this cup last month," Arya said, holding it up to the light. "But look, now it's even more beautiful, because of the golden cracks. Teacher told us that in Japan, when something breaks, they fix it with gold to show that the broken parts are what make it special. You're like this cup, Auntie. You're not just broken, you're being made into something even more beautiful." Those innocent words pierced through Priya's darkness. That night, she couldn't sleep, staring at the image of the golden repaired cup on her phone. Could it be true? Could her brokenness become her beauty? The next morning, for the first time in months, she went to physical therapy. It was painful, humiliating, and heartbreaking to see how little her body could do compared to before. But she kept going. During one therapy session, she met Vikram, a war veteran who had lost his right arm. Despite his injury, he was remarkably positive, always encouraging other patients. Priya asked him, "How do you stay so strong when life has taken so much from you?" Vikram smiled and said, "You know what I realized? Life didn't take anything from me. It redirected me. Before the war, I was an ordinary soldier. After losing my arm, I became a motivational speaker who has now helped thousands of people find hope. My breaking wasn't my ending. It was my beginning." The caterpillar thought it was dying when it went into the cocoon, but it was actually transforming into a butterfly. Sometimes life breaks you not to destroy you, but to rebuild you into something you were always meant to become. His words planted a seed in Priya's heart. Slowly, painfully, she started exploring what else she could do. She couldn't dance like before, but she could still move, still create, still teach. She started teaching dance to children with disabilities, kids who had been told they could never dance. She adapted movements, created new styles, and discovered that dance wasn't just about perfect technique. It was about expression, emotion, and freedom. 1 year after her accident, Priya stood in front of an audience for the first time, not as the perfect dancer she used to be, but as a teacher showcasing her students, children in wheelchairs, children with prosthetic limbs, children who society had written off. As she moved alongside them, her movements weren't the flawless pirouettes of her past, but they carried something deeper: authenticity, courage, and a beauty that came from overcoming. The performance ended with a standing ovation, but more importantly, with tears of joy from parents who had never imagined their children could experience the magic of dance. After the show, a young girl in a wheelchair came to Priya and said, "Thank you for showing me that broken wings can still help others fly." In that moment, Priya finally understood the truth. Life hadn't broken her to punish her. It had broken her to expand her. The old Priya could only dance for herself, chasing fame and perfection. But the new Priya, the one built from broken pieces and golden scars, could touch thousands of lives and give hope to those who had lost it. She realized that sometimes God doesn't remove the storm, He helps you dance in the rain. Sometimes healing doesn't mean going back to how things were, it means moving forward into who you're becoming. Your breaking point can become your breakthrough. Your scars can become your strength. Your pain can become your purpose. 5 years later, Priya runs the country's largest dance academy for differently abled children. The international competition she once dreamed of winning, she's now a judge there. But more importantly, several of her students have competed and won. She keeps that golden repaired teacup on her desk as a reminder. Life will break you, sometimes shatter you into pieces. But if you allow it, those broken pieces can be put back together with gold, the gold of resilience, compassion, wisdom, and purpose. You won't be the same person you were before the breaking, and that's the point. You'll be someone stronger, someone deeper, someone who understands that the most beautiful version of yourself is often the one that's been broken and rebuilt. Don't curse your cracks. They're where the light gets in. Don't hide your scars. They're proof that you survived. Don't fear the breaking. It might be the exact thing that teaches you how to fly again.